everyone, Thempire Ian here with the ban list, several days late. Sorry, I was in Montreal. Konami always loves to put out things while I'm gone, and this time it was the ban list even. Yeah, let's just get into it. There's a lot of stuff on here, so let's start talking about it. So first and foremost, we have Nightmare Griffin banned. Get this fucker out of here. I'm so tired of this guy. I hate this guy. I hated this guy before he was meta relevant. When he was being used in Spiral, like just because Spiral just combos forever and then ends on Nightmare Griffin. It's annoying. Get this guy out of here. Link Decoder, also a really interesting hit for Malice. Perhaps we shouldn't have made Link 1s a thing. I don't know. Abyss Dweller hit. Love to see it. This guy is awful. I hate him. And Bahamut Shark is an interesting hit because this card is not exactly being used in anything super meta relevant. It's Merlantian hit. But if you're significantly hitting Ryziel and Malice, which we are in this list, I think it's pretty significant hits to me. You also have to hit Merlantian, and Bahamut Shark's not a bad one. This guy just can't exist. I'm sorry, he just really shouldn't have existed ever. And you know, Abyss Dweller is the same, really. Get all those fuckers out of here. Sorry to Sharks though. I don't know what you're gonna be doing now. Okay. And that was it from the bans, but like 4 bans is pretty significant, right? And then we have the limits. So Druis Worm, in addition to Magnamut, so now there's 2 limited Bestials. I feel like we could have banned Magnamut and it would have been fine, but I think hitting Druis Worm is also good. Just like make the good Bestials harder to access. Dimension Shifter to 1, this is really good, but it should have just been banned. I don't know what limiting Dimension Shifter does that banning it wouldn't have done. Because, like, who's going to play 1 Dimension Shifter? I mean, probably someone is, but, like, it's just going to be really frustrating. I don't know. If someone does play just the 1 Dimension Shifter, it's going to be really frustrating. But the fact that Dimension Shifter needs to have an empty grave, it makes me think that nobody's going to do it. So you might as well just banned it, right? Because now it's just going to be really frustrating if they have it in the opener, but like you're not going to be planning around it at all because most people aren't going to be playing it. I don't know. It feels like a silly thing to limit instead of ban. Masterpiece is back. This is probably fine. It doesn't do anything, but it's annoying. I don't know. I feel like we should be getting rid of towers instead of putting more towers back, but whatever. Mathix Circular back. This card is crazy, but I think with the modern pace of play, Circular is fine to come back. Good for Malice. Malice can use this. And you know what? Ryziel can too. It is rank 4 turbo stuff, so not bad for them. But they have other hits. So Detonator to 1, which is a really impactful hit. Detonator is something you go into multiple times. This stops a lot of the repeatability, while still allowing them to have their boss monster. I think Ryziel Detonator to 1 is actually a perfect hit. Bonfire to 1, this was always coming. Now everyone's going to have to play optimal bonfire ratios. not going to be doing that, but like, it is fun that like now you're not going to have to draw multiple bonfires and be like, I can't activate them both in the same turn. If you're going to print a Rhoda, it's just going to this is just what's going to happen. If you print a Rhoda, this will eventually happen. Like, you can't print something that searches an entire type and not expect it to be limited eventually. Brilliant Fusion coming back is really interesting. That's fine, right? There's like, it doesn't do anything. I mean, it does something. It does create your, gives you a free normal summon, but like, I feel like that's not particularly good. It is interesting though, because to do so, you do have to play, of course, your Garnet. And I think that's interesting because of Primite. Primite having access to using normal monsters like that for their stuff, I think makes Brilliant Fusion an interesting thing to potentially play with Primite. But there's only one Brilliant Fusion, so I don't know that you're going to play it. I don't know. We'll see. Crossout Designator, and I was hoping to see there's Triple Tactics Talent. Yeah. Get these fuckers out of here. I am tired of anti-reactive cards. Hand traps should resolve and should not be punished in this way. Crossout Designator to 1 means that there's 1 crossout, 1 called by. I wish it was no crossout, no called by, but c'est la vie. It also means people will stop playing them, which is awesome, because I don't think you should be on Crossout Designator or called by. They're like frustrating cards in that they're like pretty bad in TCG usually. Like if you're playing them, it means you're playing a bad deck that requires that kind of protection. But also, they're really frustrating when they do happen to hit the one non-engine you have in hand. And then Talents is like a really good card. Definitely needs to be hit. Thrust also needs to be hit, but has not been hit yet. Thrust is like, oh, you hand trapped me? Let me just get a floodgate that instantly wins me the game. I hate that shit, dude. I hate it so much. Really glad to see them starting to hit these cards that like punish you for trying to interact with your opponent. I think that's bad. And I'm glad they're agreeing. All right, now for the semi-limits. Collapse Serpent to 2. Good day to be a Dragon Link player. And then we have X Ryziel, Ice Ryziel, Malice Dormouse, Malice White Rabbit, and Sword Ryziel. What the fuck? What? And look at this. Look, this is the entire semi-limit section. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 cards on here total. Now there are like over 10 of them. What the fuck is going on? Why are we doing this? But I think this is actually really good. I think this is a really good way to hit the Ryziel stuff and Malice stuff, which they clearly don't want to hit too hard yet because they still have other waves of support for this. Probably like 1 or 2 waves of support for this coming that haven't come out yet. So they don't want to hit them too hard, so you still buy those, but they do need to hit them somewhat. So by semi-limiting like basically all of the main deck cards for the decks, it really can help limit some of the power of the decks while still not killing them. I think it kind of works because like the thing about Ryziel and Malice is that every card is every other card, and that makes it a little hard to hit them. And I think this is a decent way of doing so. In addition to that, we also have Morphing Jar to 2. Shout out to Ruxin, I guess. Ash and Poplar to 2. I mean, with OSS banned, like who gives a shit? These are now yummy cards, right? Snake Eyes Ash into Poplar is yummy combo. So like, who gives a shit now? Sharvara to 2 is really cool. I like Sharvara coming back. I think this card is fun. So I'm looking forward to having it back now. Oh yeah, Alice Underground also to 2. It's just again part of the whole hitting every Malice card in existence. It's like every Malice combo starter. Like Chesty Cat's not exactly a starter, so they didn't hit that one. And then Wyvern Rusher to 2, again, good day to be a Dragon Link player. Although they also hit Druid's Worm. Maybe they felt comfortable bringing back the Collapse Serpent and the Wyvern Rusher because they hit some of the Bestials. And then for Unlimits, we have Cyberjar. Again, shout out to Rexon. Jackalope, Tsuchinoko, Ava. I forgot that Ava was semi-limited instead of brought to 3. And then Monkey Board. None of these are a problem. There's no issues here. I'm kind of surprised they're kind of playing it so safe with the Unlimits, considering the semi-limits are like insane. But it's a good list, I think. It's not a perfect list. Like where's D Barrier, right? Dimensional Barrier would be a really good hit on here. I would like to see more of the floodgates gone, that kind of thing. I don't like bringing Masterpiece back exactly, but I guess it's fine. Again, it's fine. But like otherwise, I think there's some really good unhits, so some really good hits. I'm pretty happy with it, right? I think this is going to shift the meta, not like significantly, but it's going to have a bit of a shakeup now. Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is in a really good position because Blue Eyes did not get a single hit on here at all. I would really like look at that. I think despite the fact that Merlantian got the Bahamut Shark hit, I think Merlantian is also a decent thing to look at. I think like Ryzial is gonna be interesting, right? You're gonna have to find other things to do. You're going to have to play Fiendsmith. So there's not a single Fiendsmith hit in here. So that means you are going to have to play Fiendsmith. Like everything is playing Fiendsmith except for Blue Eyes. I think Blue Eyes doesn't play Fiendsmith. I hope they don't. And I guess Merlantians aren't either. They don't have room for that shit. So you're going to be running Fiendsmith in your Ryzial. You're going to be running Fiendsmith in your Malice. You're going to be running Fiendsmith in your Rogue deck. I would have appreciated a hit on like Requiem or something, just to, or not, maybe not Requiem, maybe like the Underworld Goddess, like the moon, closed moon, and if you hit closed moon, you have to hit Exoton Knight too, because Exoton Knight is like Ryzial's version of moon, which would be extremely funny to hit Exoton Knight again, but this time it's because it's just perfect material for Requiem. I think if you hit Requiem, it solves the problem of having to ban every single good light fiend, but it also kind of kills Fiendsmith as a deck. So I could see I could see why they would be hesitant to do that. But I could also see not hitting the Fiendsmith because the Fiendsmith stuff is good for sure, but like it's not like the end of the world or anything. I don't know. I think it should probably have been hit a little bit because it's going to be very strong now. It's going to be the thing. But I guess we'll have to see how that shakes out. This is me on the ban list. Let me know what you think of this ban list down below. I'm really curious to hear what you have to say about the semi-limits. I think the semi-limit is like very much a Master Duel kind of hit, but it's a faster hit because like Master Duel they would go like Malice to Dormouse to 2, and then like the next ban list they go Malice White Rabbit to 2. And they'd hit it like one at a time, and this one is just like no, Dormouse, White Rabbit, Underground, X, Ice, Sword, all to 2 right now. I like that a lot better, but that's because Master Duel has faster ban lists, so they get to like come in over and over again and chip away at things. But I think this, I like this better because it just happens at once, and then it makes a major shakeup. Whereas with Master Duel, you kind of have this situation where you're raising the temperature of the pot, and you don't notice it until it's suddenly hot, and then it feels like the format barely changes until suddenly it's like slightly different, because it's just like slightly different every single time. You're like just like constantly bored by the best deck in the room because it's been slowly changed over time. I don't know. It drives me insane. I don't like Master Duel. But this is about TCG, and I think this is a really interesting shakeup. So, again, let me know what you think down below, and I'll see ya in the next one. Bye! Hey there, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I got a lot more for you if you want them. Just hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications. I'd also appreciate if you left me a like and a comment, and maybe shared the video around with your friends. You can also follow me on all the usual social media sites. Just check out my website in the description below for more info. My videos are funded by my patrons and YouTube members, whose names you'll see scrolling by in these credits here. For just $1 a month, you too can find yourself here, trapped in my end screen for all eternity. In particular, I'd like to thank Haru Hayes, Flea Kill, Frog Prince Michael, the Almighty Ferret Lord, and Fire Mizumi. A big thanks to all my other patrons and to my little community as a whole. Remember to be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful whatever time it is for you. Bye-bye.